kickstart the 2025 EROAD Australian Rally Championships. A beautiful day. Heat 1 today, Saturday. Heat 2 to follow tomorrow. 28 degrees, sunny day. We've had some rain in the recent days here across the nation's rally. As we kickstart the season with the Gazoo Racing Rally of Canberra. Chris Dove's with you. I'm joined once again by Dean Herridge. Dean, you are the voice of the Australian Rally Champion, a former winner here in Canberra. This is a time-honoured event, isn't it? One of our favourites for the year.
It is indeed, and as it's proven to be, tricky for the competitors. You said beautiful day, which it is, a lovely day. It'll be getting hot in those cars this afternoon, though, no doubt.
We have some talking points to get to, but let's have a look at how the season unfolds. This is stop one for a 6-round championship for the EROAD Australian Rally Championship. We wrap up in Tassie, my homeland, and as we've seen in recent years, it can come down not just to the final round, not just to the final day, but the final stage. We've seen that before in recent
magic moment here in Canberra back in the day, the two brothers. Something we'll always remember in the Australian Championship.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at what we've got for this weekend. So we're well into it now. We've had 5 stages completed, 8 stages today, 8 stages tomorrow, Heat 1 and Heat 2 combined, and then we crown a champion for the Rally of Canberra. 220 competitive kilometres. And as we said at the top there, the storylines, you don't get much bigger than losing your defending champion, the 2-time defending champion in Harry Bates earlier today with a pretty significant bit of damage to his Yaris.
Yeah, we still try and fix now. Like you said, that's been the big talking point. We're back at the same stage, being repeated. It's the longest one of today. That's what they're focused on, locking the points away tonight. That's we'll get 50 points to the winner of today's heat. Harry made a mistake. He said, over break, my mistake. He said, I made that golden rule error of not staying in the centre, and on these you pay the price. Went wide, was in the gutter, and it was actually a big culvert that came out and ripped the whole rear end off the car, which looks really dramatic. But the team told me some of that stuff is in play to be able to tear away so they can repair the car. So the team are confident. Get him back out there, get some kilometres. People would ask, why would they do that if you're going to start from scratch tomorrow? Salvage what you can. Every point can count, like we just said before. And also just get yourself dialed in for tomorrow so that you're ready for tomorrow. We do reset. It is a different area, but they want to lock that car away tonight in Parc Ferme and go, right, we're ready. That mistake's been done. Yep. We salvaged what we could. Let's go for Sunday.
That's it. Tidbin Billa Forest is where we are today. Cowan Forest tomorrow. Very different in the makeup and the layout. Natural tracks here, and then we go to a more forestry complex tomorrow. So very, very different conditions. We've got the 2 different tyres to choose from. So lots of strategy, lots of nerves on day one. Service Park, though, there were some other storylines too. Scott Pedder having an issue as well.
While leading, he had a shock drama where he lost pressure in the shock absorber, then got a puncher, right front puncher, ran through on the stage, but of course that can do some cosmetic damage. I think he's back out there trying to manage what's going on with his damper set. Josh Redhead come through. He had some dramas with his car, Stewie Reid and those sorts of things. Some of them will get back out, some we may see come through here. But I don't know what it is. It's a tricky event. We were chatting about it before. It used to be an Asia-Pacific round, all 3 days counted. We seem to say it every year. This particular forest catches out some of the Australia's best drivers. Yeah. It seems to happen every year.
So after 5 stages, our leader, Hayden Paddon. So he's an international star and one of the big talking points as we looked into this season as a preview, how he would fit in, how he would compete against the likes of the Bates brothers and Scotty Pedder in the new Skoda. Well, he's gapped on 15-second lead after 5 stages is a pretty solid start.
Yeah, you'd argue that experience is already coming through. John Kennard, his long-time co-driver, joining us for the Australian Championship. Class act. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't win what he has won without knowing what you're doing and being a very, competitive team as well. And like you said, whether he downplayed it, was happy or not to take a podium, he's found himself in the position. Now what he'll have to do through these stages, if he doesn't know that well, try and just maintain and get through to today. Like I said, the focus of him now, lock it away, found himself in the lead. Lewis is probably playing that game where he's waiting for a little mistake, but a puncher or anything like that can still come through. So he has to remain focused, but very experienced to be able to do that.
I mean, that's a bit of a bonus, isn't it? Because he said to us yesterday at the rally show, which was attended by a huge amount of passionate fans. It was great to have that back as a feature of this year's Toyota Gazoo Racing Rally of Canberra. But he said, I just want to get through, really. I'm not out there to win it. I just want to get the experience because the roads here are quite different to New Zealand, which are then again different to Europe, where it's been the 2-time champion.
Yeah, and the thing is, they are completely different. But the thing is, European championship, he's good on all surfaces. He's good with these conditions as we see him come over our shoulder. And once again, car looking good condition. You can see him shutting off to the end of the stage, etc. So, like you said, He's, he won a solid job through. This is the longest of the loop. Provided he can come through here and maintain and keep a good gap on Lewis, he'll go into these last two stages feeling pretty good about it all.
So he had a 15-second gap over Lewis Bates, and it was 47 seconds back to Scott Pettit. Jackie Shivey is with us, so welcome to her to this afternoon's coverage. Let's hear, though, from Hayden Paddon.
Thanks for that, Stubbsy. Hayden, these are pretty challenging stages, but is it fair to say you've had a perfect day?
I wouldn't say perfect. We were struggling this morning. This afternoon, with the road being a bit more swept, it's certainly more enjoyable, so we've got a bit more grip, as it is for everyone. But, rough stages, so you've got to drive accordingly as well and be a little bit smart. So, Scott and Harry were both very quick this morning, but we're just trying to drive our own rally at the moment.
Yeah, so how are you managing the lead?
Just keeping in the middle of the road is a big thing. Obviously, Lewis is not far behind, so it's just about managing that gap, but it's about a no-risk. Drive with good speed, but not taking any unnecessary risks.
And how different are the roads from this morning?
A lot more grip, a little bit rougher in places, not too bad, but yeah, obviously the grip's a lot higher, so that makes it more enjoyable.
Fantastic, thanks for the chat.
So as we expected, Dean, the grip has lifted because we've got the conditions have dried out. We had some shade this morning. There was a few damp patches that were proving to be challenging. Narrow. You've got to keep it straight, which sounds 101, doesn't it, in rallying? But it's so important, particularly here at Tidbinbilla.
Yeah, and you can see by the surface, the shot you're seeing there, that road surface, if it is dry, the dampness can actually add to a little bit of grip, would you believe, in these conditions, as long as it doesn't get too excessive. So, that experience shows. Keep it in the middle of the road. That's exactly what his experience is showing him. He'll feel a little better once he sees the time come through, see if Lewis is trying to attack through here or he takes some time. But when you see how experienced he is, I suspect he's got this well in hand. But he's also very much respecting, what roads he's dealing with as well.
Lewis Bates, in terms of his progression and his day, he was very happy as well. He was playing a bit of a long game, wasn't he, this weekend?
He was. And keeping an eye on who's on your screen now, and Scott Pettit coming through in that new Skoda, and as you can see, pushing very hard. And I think he took that approach, particularly once you see those stages come through early. Where am I placed? Where am I going to be? And took advantage of other people who did stumble a little bit early.
So Scott Pettit, he's got the new car, and so far he's been pretty happy with how he's going. Let's hear from him.
So Scotty, how did that just compare to this morning?
No, we've got a right rear shock. The new one they put in, it seized as well, so it's ugly to drive. I'm pushing pretty hard to try and find some time, but the car's not great.
How do you reckon you'll claw some time back?
Sorry, I missed that.
How do you reckon you'll claw some time back?
We don't need to now. We're probably, probably safe in third. I think we've just got to maintain, and there's no point pushing this car at the moment because it's not driving properly.
Well, best of luck for the rest of it. Thank you.
Okay, so Dean, the report there from Scott, that rear shock problem has reared its ugly head again, and for him it sounds like a bit of damage, limitation, getting to the end. He's happy in third, but that's probably the best that he can do.
I would think so, yeah. I've seen a little bit of chatter on the team radio. They're going to try and maybe get some information to see what they can do in the service. Remember, when we're out here now, until they get back to service the crew, can't touch the car. They've got a little refuel there. They might be able to get some advice on what to look at to try and manage it. I would think after that it'll be management, and as you say, P3 at the end of it, trying to make the whole thing work. That'll be his strategy from here on out, to think.
All right, so this is how we're progressing at the moment as we take a look from our drone at these shots of the forests around here in beautiful conditions, and Scott's got some work to do, but let's see if we can follow our next car here, Lewis. So we know that our Bosch Motorsport ballot set the order for the start of the day. So that was a new addition to the championship this year, which is a real feature and got people's tongues wagging at the rally show. But Lewis is coming here. What have you made of him in addition to your comments?
He's very talented, very quick at the end of the day, though. He'll be knowing how to play this as well. I think he'll work out whether he can attack from here with Hayden. If not, he'll play probably a safe option and, a good result to be second in this field as well.
So obviously that was better than this morning.
Sorry, what was that?
That was better than this morning's run.
Yeah, that's right. We're here with all four wheels, so bit of a bonus. But it was a clean run. I feel like maybe we're a bit compromised on setup this afternoon because the repairs are not absolutely perfect, but it's all right.
So did you push as hard, or did you play it a little bit safer, Harry?
I'm trying to push as hard as I can just to get the feeling for tomorrow. Tomorrow's still an important day with new points on the line. So yeah, the plan for this afternoon is just to make sure we've got the feeling ahead of tomorrow.
Well, good luck with those points.
So There you go. It is very much risk versus reward, isn't it, now for Harry? Because you don't want to try to play catch-up and force an issue again.
Yeah, obviously slotted in there. We're expecting Lewis there. We were told that Lewis might be in front of there, but he's slopped into his rightful spot, Harry. Yeah, he's in a bit of a difficult spot, trying to judge tomorrow versus make sure you look after the car now. So he will not be focused on stage time. He'll be there or thereabouts. He's trying to pick into that top 20, get the points all the way down and just impact as far as he can go. He will not be bothered if Hayden and he expects Scott beating through here. Car's still not perfect, which is what I said at the opener. You now just get it dialed in. Let's get it ready for tomorrow. If he'd rolled that out tomorrow and he was compromised, he's already on the back foot. So today is about kilometres. Work it out tonight. Get the car ready to have a full-on attack tomorrow.
Mentally, for a guy like Harry and his experience, he'd be able to shrug that off this morning. He put his hand up very quickly and said it was his own mistake.
He won't be happy about it.
Yeah, he's a perfectionist, isn't
absolutely.
he? Yeah.
Rally that he probably thought he could have an advantage on the rest of the field, so he'll be disappointed. But now it's about turning that professional face on and getting it off. As now you see Lewis into the stage.
That's it. Now we've got Lewis coming through. Again, his strategy has been just to make sure that he plays the long game. He's the finesse driver, Harry's the aggressive driver, and so far so good. Lewis was 15 seconds down on Hayden Paddon after stage 5. He's now completed stage 6, and let's hear from him with Jackie.
So Lewis, are you now challenging Hayden?
We're doing our best. He's been very consistent today, so yeah, we're trying to up the pace and yeah, not sure how we've gone on the last two, but we're pushing.
So what's the game plan for this afternoon then? How are you going to push that?
We'll keep into a nice rhythm. We'll try and play it smart and keep in a nice rhythm, yeah.
And how's it going, the car going for you?
Yeah, car's working really well. We made a few changes for this afternoon and I think it's working better.
Fantastic, good luck.
So rhythm and playing it smart, that is his strategy, as we've said since we began our broadcast here for stage number 6. In terms of the setup changes, what are the types of things in these conditions that they might be looking at there?
They'd be pretty set once they've made their tyre choice. It might be small things on dampener settings, very minute things that, to be honest, a lot of people wouldn't feel. But when you're running these cars right at the limit, that's when that stuff comes in. The little small adjustment on a low-speed bump or a little ride height change just to get the car to dial in. But in these conditions, about making the car as comfortable and confident as possible. He used an interesting word there about how consistent Hayden's been. Consistently quick, hasn't made a mistake. They're the two guys that haven't put a foot wrong so far, either in the car or a punch or anything like that, and that's why they're at the pointy at the moment. So he's trying to sort of get as close as he can and take advantage of any slip that Hayden might have, but we would suspect he's going to struggle with overall pace. We're struggling a little bit with results back here in regards to them sort of cleansing. I don't think they're sort of the correct times we're seeing through here at the moment, so we don't really have a read on exactly what's happening at the stage. Hopefully that cleanses itself and we get an idea, but both the cars coming through, and no one really, for Lewis and for Hayden, not reporting any major damage.
That's it, they were clean, there was not a mark on the cars, so they are keeping it consistent and on track, which is certainly the key at the moment. Don't forget the super results hub through the Australian Rally Championship website is the place to keep up to date with how things are tracking at the moment.
So we've got a front splitter off, or the bumpers off, so right-hand side there. Could have happened the stage prior. That'll be a question we'll ask that I know Jack can get from him. You've got some damage. The front bumper's off to the right. Did it happen in here? Everything looks tracking okay, so it could have been just a cut through at some point. But, yeah, hope we get some information here on Alex on exactly what's happened and which stage that's happened in.
Alex, you're missing a bit of your car. What's happened out there?
It's rough, so I don't know. We're sort of trimming bushes all the time, so these front bumpers aren't super strong. So often we chunk them off. This morning we ran the wrong tyres, so the balance was out. So it's feeling a lot better now.
So you've changed the setup a little bit?
Nothing on the car, just the tyres. We're running different tyres front to rear, and it just upset the balance of the car a little bit.
And how was the Salvos run compared to this morning then?
Yeah, it was good. The first stage of this loop, we made a little mistake. Ran wide, so we lost about 5 seconds there. So, yeah, I think we're back more on the pace we should be now.
So how are you going to make up for that time?
Yeah, I don't think we will make it back, to be honest. We've got a bit of a gap to third, which I think is Lewis or Scott now. So, yeah, we'll probably finish in this position for the day unless something drastic happens, and we'll go again tomorrow. I like tomorrow's stages, so I have a bit of a push there.
Well, good luck.
So that's a great result there from Alex, and we touched on it early today when we were broadcasting our stage, that the information and experience already that he's been able to get into Hyundai like Hayden Paddon is paying dividends, but That's a great result, isn't it?
Well, and the thing is, he's showing some maturity there. Well, everyone's having a few dramas. He's not, okay, and the bumper was the bumper. We're trimming stuff. It didn't look like he had a major off or drama. Probably a few years ago when he was a bit more enthusiastic, we might say, that would result in a spin or an off. So, and he's gone. I like tomorrow's stages better. These are tricky. And he is in no man's land. If he pushes for another spot, it's a big risk, and he's got a major gap behind. So at the end of the day, it's about making calculated calls.
We were talking earlier today about the choice of tyres. I was trying to put you in the hot seat and say, what are you running today? You're going the soft or the harder compound? Interesting that Alex said they got it wrong this morning. So does that suggest to you they went perhaps the harder, went with the more conservative?
Well, we haven't got any of the data on what they went for, but what can sometimes happen is if it's a little hotter than you think and you've gone the softer tyre, the car rolls more. It's not quite as accurate on turning and things. If you've gone for the hard and it's cooler than you think, or the surface is a little bit damp, well, then you're sort of struggling for a bit of traction, and particularly braking, confidence and stuff like that. So whichever way he's gone, he's probably set up the car slightly for that. All of a sudden you make a tyre call and he felt like that. Now, I'm sure it's not the full reason why, but that would be part of it.
So what sort of top speeds are we expecting to get here today through Tidbinbilla?
Well, the cars are very talky, but I'll tell you, at certain spots they'll no doubt get near 170, 180 kilometres an hour. Doesn't matter how wide or how narrow the roads are. The car will go that speed, and you've got the notes and you're confident enough. And they get up to speed very quick. It's not, in some cases, it's about how quickly you can get to those speeds, and of course about taking the corners as fast as you can. And sensational suspension travel on these cars to cope with the bumps and the dips.
So the father of Alex Rullo, Peter Rullo, is here. He's been battling a little bit physically, so interested to hear from Jackie how he may be progressing as this day wears on.
So Peter, how was that run? Was that just a calculated one, or did you push it a little bit?
We were a fair bit quicker than our first time. We had a few issues on the first run through, but it's definitely warm. It's hard work out there, but no, we got through okay.
That was going to be my next question. How are you holding up in this heat?
Yeah, I'm sweating at the moment. I don't know about Ben, but it's pretty hot in the car.
So what's the game plan for this afternoon then? Are you going to try and push for some more time?
Look, the next couple of stages are probably more suited to my driving style, so less technical and tricky and as this, and less things to hit. But no, we're just starting to get into a rhythm now, so yeah, just continue that.
Well, good luck with that rhythm. Thank you.
Positive peak there. That's what we like to see. That's a great job. Significantly quicker than he was earlier this morning. But physically, he didn't really detail, but he's struggling still with the after effects of last year, Dino.
Yeah, and I saw him have a bit of an ice pack on at the service park there, just icing it up a little bit.
That's his wrist?
Yeah, on his wrist there, ice pack on his wrist there, which is sort of not the ideal thing through here. When it's technical and you have to be minute movements into the corners and things, big risk. And also you heard a couple of people before, they had the wheel teared out of their hands at certain points. So, that's a challenge physically. And we sort of, once again, detailed the top. It will be hot and warm out there. This is the 22K stage. It's taking them approximately 16 odd minutes to do the stage. It's hard work and it's relentless. I think while tomorrow's more flowing, you get a little chance to relax in the brakes. It's a bit like going to Bathurst. Ironically, the top speed areas, i.e. the straights, is when you can relax a little bit. So if it's constant corner after corner, concentrating on the notes, making sure you got everything precise. As we said, middle of the road, that starts to take its toll.
Yep, and a shout out to it is warm. Pete just detailed how much he's burning up inside the car. A shout out to all our volunteers and officials and everyone that's making this weekend's event possible. It takes a lot of people to bring it together, and a shout out to an events group, to Adrian and Jill Coppin, that taken over the championship this year. And great to see so many people turn out for the rally show. Shout out to Apache Media, Andrew Jansen, putting the coverage together this year. Dino alongside me, and Jackie Shivey with us too.
And as you could see on the way through here, we even had Hyundai come through with their Performance N brand. They're on a tour. We saw Brendo here and all those sorts of people coming through, guiding them through with people who are passionate about their cars. They've got Hyundai N cars, performance cars. They come along to join together, go to the service park, see the skills of the mechanics and the cars up close, and then come out and watch them at pace, which is a pretty cool thing to do out here in the forest. One of the unique things about rallying. And
you got rounded up on the way here by a couple of little M Sport cars. I saw the twitch in the eye. You didn't like getting overtaken.
I had to get back in the Subaru and try and fight back a little bit, but no, it's great to see them out there doing some of that. So small hole through here. The times are a little bit, I think the overalls is probably what we're going to be able to concentrate on here as an overall. So I would think that you've now seen Hayden span out to nearly a 30-second gap, It's roughly 30 seconds back to Scott, and then Rullo's back by Alex 20 seconds. So it set a little bit of a rhythm with the kilometres to go now. Most people will be happy to hold station, but as we can see, unpredictable, and you're only one puncher away from dropping a few spots.
I think the only person who may be disappointed with that list, as you said, Paddon from Lewis Bates, Pedder and Rullo. I think Alex thought he was in third position when he spoke to Jackie before, so he might be the only one that looks at that and goes,
He sort of knew that Scott was close or hopping around, and they would have seen that at the service park. But if, you tap the stage, Scott was going to go, oh, mate, got a Canberra issue and something like that.
So there was a little bit of a gap there, so we'll find out here if we've had a problem for our next competitor.
Well, we've got Josh Redhead coming through, so he did rejoin. So we detailed at the top there. He saw an oil pressure spike. I think he shut it off to make sure it didn't do any damage. Great to see he's got to the end of this one. Jackie can probably see how the car is going after being in the service and getting back out there. Very similar to what we've seen from Harry.
Well, Josh, obviously this has gone better than this morning's. How was that?
Much better. We lost brakes probably 4Ks from the end in there, but anyway, look, we're still going. We made it further than we did this morning, so thumbs up. Let's keep going.
So how are you going to go this afternoon then? Do you have trust in your car?
Well, we only made it that far, so we haven't done the next two. We'll find out as we go. Fast recce.
Good vibes, thumbs up. Thank you.
I like that. Fast recce, meaning we didn't actually get to do these stages. I haven't seen them. We'll judge it as we go. Look, not ideal. They'll be in a similar vein to Harry. Not much to gain from here. I mean, realistically, they went out on the opening stage. We didn't see them come through here. So, they'll be about tomorrow as well. So, fast recce, get the car set for tomorrow and fight on from there.
He's a good lad, isn't he? He's
a
bit of a character.
Yeah, great character. And, Ray Winwood-Smith sitting alongside him, he sat with Nathan Quinn. They won rounds. So, good to have him supporting Josh and trying to do some ARC rounds. They won New South Wales state titles and things. And to step into an AP4 car, which, like we spoke about this morning, is trying to be a step up, a little more advanced in regards to the car and what you can do with them from a production-based car. Gives them a chance with a smaller budget to try and get a car, get the suspension travel and a little bit more movement to be able to try and take on some of these guys on certain stages. But like we said, class act. I love the fact that Hayden Paddon's come in here and knows how fast our drivers are. It shows that we do have quality drivers at the front end of our championship.
And it's a nice mix of youth as well, isn't it? I mean, we've seen Alex, Josh, we've got Jackson Long as well debuting this weekend, and there is the Junior Cup too, so they get a chance to fight for some silverware.
Yeah, which is something great. It's a class type category. You've got to be in a certain style of car, but you get to go head to head on that sort of thing.
What are you noticing from the conditions in terms of the amount of dust that's been here? It is significant.
Yeah, and that's because obviously the road's been swept through once. The wind is up, fortunately, though, so I don't think anyone's talking about any dust. If it had been really light on with wind, that would have been a drama. That hasn't happened here. And this will be Josh Weeben, who we've both been impressed with just his maturity. I did speak to his dad at the service park. He did have an off on, I think, stage 4. And I've said the same as Harry's always said, stay in the middle. He's in a great position, so try and take advantage of the day and how he's gone so far. So, good job by them coming through in a newish type car, but going well.
Josh, has it been a good day?
Oh, here and there. I had a crash in the last run before we went back to service, and we got a bit late, so we were fixing some stuff, and I think we might have just gotten a flat on that one. So, but yeah, still fast. It's just rough, so we just got to manage it and see how we go.
Yeah, before you got the flat, how was it going? Like, how different is the track from this morning's run?
Man, the car's awesome. Like, in the track, it's obviously rough, but yeah, same thing. We're just trying to manage it, and it was a good lap. Obviously, the tyre's only just gone sort of very shortly back then, but it's a bit sketchy when it went. So yeah, we just toned it down once again. So.
Well, what's your game plan going to be for the Salvo then?
I think, we'll just try and sort out a couple of the issues and then just try and tidy everything up, and then, should be good to go.
Well, best of luck with it.
Dino, you've driven a lot of different machinery over your years. How different
And he does have the puncher on the right rear there. So just as he leaves through there. Now, the good news is he's got a puncher. We'd call that a soft puncher. It's still on the rubber. He's not on the rim. So if he's managed that for a few Ks, he picked up on it, hasn't destroyed the car apart, etc. So he would have lost some time. But, it's probably just popped it off the rim, gone wide, or it could have come out of the blue with a rock and stuff like that. So he's managed that quite well. Good news having the rubber between you and the road. Rim not affected. Privateers like to look after their gear, etc. So he'll be able to change that with the spare now. Like we said, only they can change it, by the way, on that stuff. So, but adapting to the new cars, to answer your question, coming from a lighter, probably nimbler Subaru to a more powerful but heavier Mitsubishi is the transition for him. I do feel
a difference in the wheelbase? Is there
It would be longer. It'd be probably a little bit more
visibility,
stable and stuff like that than probably the smaller car. But therefore, in today, you probably want a nimbler car. You don't mind that. In the higher speed, you want a bit more stability. I do love Josh. He comes from a bit of an off-road background, so he uses the terms laps. Young guy, he sort of crashed. No, that's an off. Just tell the team it's an off. It wasn't a big crash. He just had a slide off. But I love that rawness about him, and he's a natural talent who's learning the craft. Coming from off-road, they literally do laps, big suspension, travel bits and pieces. This is the finite parts of rally, which is learning.
Super passionate, got to at the rally show last night.
So it looks like here we got Stewie Reid coming through, who I battled with many years ago, 20-odd years ago, Queensland, great guy, Privateer Cup winner back in the day, could take on the likes of Ed Ordinsky driving Evos and things. Doing a lot in New Zealand with the Paddon group, has almost come across with Hayden to be part of the championship. Had an issue with a radiator on the opening stages. They also have got him back out there. Hopefully he's enjoying his first couple of proper stages here in Canberra.
Hey, how are you finding the second sweep through this stage?
The engine's flashing hot, so we've gone relatively slowly, but we never got to come through on the first run because we had a technical issue with the car, so we're still working on it for tomorrow.
So how are you going to manage this issue now?
I'll get out my G and I'll give my glass a bit of a rub, and we'll see what she brings out of the jar.
Well, good luck.
You'll take anything. You'll take anything. Yeah, he'd be disappointed because he produces some fantastic cars. I mean, like I said, he's joined the Paddon group. I don't know how much he has involved in that car, but he'd be disappointed to be chasing that heating issue the whole time. So to not have a clean run, he'll be annoyed at that. He's got nice spirits at the moment, but yeah, he's a formed driver. If he gets the car underneath him, he'll be fast, and he'll be in amongst the likes. I would think, snapping at Alex and being in with Peter and those sorts of people. So we haven't seen the true Stewie Reid at the moment.
And from Stewie, that was, I think the engine is flashing hot. It wasn't something else. If at first you thought maybe we needed to bleep something out, I think it was flashing hot.
Yeah, it definitely said flashing hot. Yeah. And as if the drivers would watch that anyway. I mean, maybe if you're paying the bills and he's very mechanical, you've got a bit of sympathy on that. You'd have a certain tip-off point. The younger guys, they just keep driving.
Light?
I didn't see a light. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
Every cent counts, though, when you're a privateer and you're the one paying the bills, right?
Indeed it is. You're not wrong about that. So, like I said, we're still struggling with the times. We only really have the overall times, not really getting much of a stage time run, but we're getting a pretty good, vibe and information from the competitors. So this might be more accurate now coming through. So Hayden quickest through. Harry, fair job to be 6 seconds off when he's sort of just managing like we said. Scotty Petter, 12. That probably shows that suspension drama. Lewis, I think, will be a little disappointed with that. For a guy who was sort of half in with a sniff there, that's a little too far back at 13 seconds potentially. Alex solid at 20, and then we start to go back a bit further to Peter Rullo and Josh Redhead. And, to expect that from Josh, not having done that stage before, and same as Harry trying to manage that. So that's probably where we expected, but just shows how good Paddon's going, and he'll now have a very good gap with 2 stages run this afternoon. It's his heat to lose now, basically.
And most of our viewers would be well aware that this is a home round for the Bates boys. I mean, this is where the team is based. It's where they grew up. They're still here and they're still very much a part of the community. So that home ground advantage that they thought they were going to have hasn't really played out that way so far today.
No, I think Harry will rue that. I mean, at the end of the day, he's probably really come out early. And he's shown that he's going a very good pace already. So don't get me wrong, he's not out of the plenty stretch, but he'll be more disappointed in himself. So, but that's part of what it is. It's now about how do you cope with that and how do you regroup to make the most of it all. As we've got Andrew Penny coming through, he just loves driving. Andrew and Reek's been doing this combination together for many a season, etc. Love to have them in the ARC. They've done a lot of state level motorsport and stuff. He had a wow of a time through the first one. Let's see if he's enjoyed his run through this time.
So, Andrew, was that as fun as this morning?
It just gets better, I tell you. More cars go through, the faster it gets, the rougher it gets, but pick your line and hang on. It's absolutely fantastic.
So how's the grip going out there now that there's a couple of cars that have gone through?
I don't know. We sort of just do our own thing and punch along and see what happens at the end of the day. It's a very long rally, and we're always consistent, so hopefully the consistency will help us today.
And how's the car going? Is it feeling good heading into the rest of this afternoon?
Look, it's been fantastic. We had a heater hose split in that traffic jam and going south, but we fixed that. It's been faultless. Nothing at all is a problem. It's just the old driver, I guess.
Touch wood, you have a good afternoon as well. Thank you.
It's rough, hang on, it's just fantastic. I love that. Just detail there, the traffic jam. He's not referring to a traffic jam during the stage.
No.
It was on the way back to service park.
Yeah, correct. I mean, we have to drive on the public roads to get to the service park, which is close to the city, and they were doing some road works. We're down to one lane, and a lot of our competitors got jammed up there. Now, normally that could create a time penalty. Organisers quite smart about being safe on the roads, etc. Don't overextend yourself, speed or anything else. We realise there's an issue there. So the issue for him was, of course, being in the back. I've got no airflow in my car. My rally car doesn't overheat. So not an issue flying through the forest, but an issue stuck in traffic like a lot of cars. It's coming towards us, Tony Solins. We talked before, front-wheel drive. Will this help? He's still steering left and right. I feel like he's trying to see whether I've got a drama there. He's got to the end of the stage, probably trying to feel through the wheel. Like, we've got a drama, have I got a puncher? Pretty impressive time for a front-wheel drive car amongst some of the four-wheel drive cars on the first pass. So, one, is there a drama that he's feeling through the car? And how's he gone this time around?
All right, well, let's find out. Jackie?
Are you having any issues with the car? We saw you doing a little test there. What's going on?
Oh, no, nothing at all. I've got to turn off the boosty thing at the end of the stage, and I can't see it because I can't look down because of my hands device. So I've just got to feel around until I find the right button.
So no issues, just a boosty thing?
Yeah, no, just a switch, that's all. No, it's all good. The car's awesome. Yeah, really good.
So how did this run go compared to this morning? Because you weren't too happy with the front-wheel drive?
Yeah, I'm still not only happy with the two-wheel drive. The first two are still rubbish, but the last two were really good, and I'm going to hope that happens again.
So what's the plan for this afternoon then?
Flat out for the last two stages and see how we end up.
Well, good luck. Thank you.
Love that. Sometimes the simple plan is the best plan, and a boosty thing is speaking my language.
Well, him darting around is literally probably not looking at the road. He's trying to search for the button to turn the anti-lag off or something like that. So it wasn't him sort of seeking, it was just him darting left and right, not paying attention to where he's going on the run down to the stop area there. Like I said, he was impressive and quick. The thing about Tony, he's got lots of experience. He has driven four-wheel drive cars, a bit of it as a Subaru. So, sometimes he would know, shit, I got more pace than this, but the car's the car. It's a class-type car, being front-wheel drive, etc. And he's extremely talented. He's a Target Tasmania winner outright in a Subaru back in the day, in the wet, when he cleaned everyone up, including Jim Richards. So, talented driver, been around the sport for a long time.
And to beat Jim Richards at Target Tasmania,
you're not doing too bad, are you?
King of Target Tasmania means you're doing a pretty good job.
I thought you'd like that as a homegrown Tasmanian. So.
Thank you. Very much enjoyed watching Target go past the end of my road as a kid growing up. But this gravel is even better, Tino. I'm converted.
Yeah, good. Well, you have to come to the Tassie round then, mate. Surely it's going to be on your radar for the last round. What a way to finish the season. And it was really well received in Burnie. We expect that to be another classic round. And if we got the fight like we expect here, we can build up to that. And, people have their little dramas. Harry this time, Hayden, we could be in for an absolutely cracking final round if it all come together.
That's it. And you were detailing how enjoyable the end-of-season dinner, the awards night, the presentation night that was brought back last year. You have to do that again.
Great to get everyone together and celebrate what was a fantastic season last year. And like I said, maybe we can go on top of that again here. We're probably expecting to try and have come through here maybe Jaden and Lucy Blusky, the juniors in their Subaru, a non-turbo version. Still four-wheel drive, but no turbo on there, so they're able to run through in that configuration. Quite have the torque. Heard a few people say they're not too worried about that. It's a very rough event. Front bumpers are fairly cheap compared to some of the other componentry and stuff, but good young combination.
How was that run? Are you finding the grip's getting any better? You're looking pretty exhausted.
The grip was definitely better, but it's a lot harder in the cockpit. So it's hard to manage with that. But I think we were 40 seconds quicker that run from the first run, so that says enough, I think. It's definitely grippier. Either that or I've got way more confidence than I had in the morning. So
maybe you're getting into a groove. Are you finding that?
Yeah. I think I finally got into my grooves the last stage in the morning. So we had like a 17-second improvement the last stage. So perhaps it is that I've found my groove now, which is good.
That's pretty impressive. How are you going to carry that into the rest of the afternoon?
Look, I probably won't change too much. I'll keep on going as I am because these roads are new to me, whereas tomorrow's roads I'm a bit more familiar with. So the aim of the day now would be getting through the final two stages.
Best of luck with that. Thank you.
So there is a real theme, Dean, the heat. 28 degrees, it might not sound that warm, but what sort of temperatures are we getting to inside these cabins and what sort of airflow can you get into them?
Well, if it's 25-degree ambient, it's probably 55 in the car. And the other thing is, same as the car need airflow, we need some airflow. I mean, you can see Jaden probably struggling there a little bit. Your physical fitness, as you start to wear out, your mental fatigue comes in and stuff like that. It's actually one of the parts of rally that's a really endurance side of things that we sort of forget. I mean, you have to be at the top line level. You have to be an athlete to deal with and be able to concentrate for this level of time all day. I mean, to do the amount of kilometres you do on the road, in the traffic, with the roadworks, let alone then come out and turn on to 100% in road terms, is actually hard to do over the course of a day. Managing the car, the mechanical sides, the setup of it, what tyres do I go for? Speak to us as the media and stuff. There's a lot going on over the course of the day. So by the time you land back there at the service park, you've been through what most people would call the marathon, effectively. Yeah. And in these, like I said, the race suits are on. The other part of it is generally for us as humans, we want to cool down. Shorts are on, the thongs are on, and you get a lot of your heat from your body escaping from all those, legs, arms, etc. Then all of a sudden, if you're not fit for this or you're not ready for it in regards to heat, you put all the race suit on, there's only one space. It's your face. You've got a balaclava on. All the heat now tries to come through your head. The helmet's on, and that's when you start to get mentally fatigued. So almost having this in the heat, your body being aware of how to make the most out of that situation is actually a challenge that most people don't even think about.
And so hard to replicate. It's not like you can jump into a sauna with a race car and do it on the weekend in your lead-up.
I have been to a university and I've actually been in the heat chamber with a race suit on doing a simulator back many years ago. So maybe that's a trick for these hotter rallies. Of course, traditionally we are almost a winter sport. As that car just stalls on the line there, Turbo Car's not really wanting to start. We'll just see what he's going through there.
It's been a pretty challenging day today, some challenging stages. Are you tracking where you thought you would or wanted to be?
Yeah, I think we're going where we want to, but it's a really hard stage, that one, again. Really rough, really bumpy, really loose.
And compared to this morning, it's a lot hotter. How are you managing that?
Unfortunately, we're running cool suits, so we're nice and cool. Well, somewhat cool in here, but better than we would be.
And how are you feeling heading into this afternoon?
It's going to be a hot afternoon. We'll do the best we can.
All right, good luck.
Running a cool suit. Dean Herridge, that sounds like something you would have done in your day.
Well, but you know what? The interesting part of it, I'd love to see what they're doing, because unlike what we'd see, is he's just struggling to start it up. Hot turbo cars don't like starting sometimes in these conditions, so hopefully gets that to fire. Sounds a little better if he can try and get some spark. Having a traditional cool suit like you would at the supercars is difficult, because to manage that over the course, they're out of the service for 3 hours. It's actually hard. You might run ice vests on, but if they heat up and you still got them on, you start doing the reverse. So we'll have to go and have a chat to them and see exactly what units they're using, but good on them if they're feeling cool. Probably a little cool in their car at the moment as they're still struggling to start that up. And we'll head down to Jody Miller here in the Mitsubishi just to hear from Jackie and how they've gone through that stage.
So Jody, how was that one for you?
It was good. It was getting quite hot in the car, but it was, just keep it tidy. Keep it tidy. I think that's the answer. At the end of the day, there's too many sitting in the bushes, but we're not risking anything.
So you're taking a very calculated approach, and you're finding that it's paying off?
Yes, at the moment it is. We'll just see where Andrew is sitting at the end of this one, and because he was right behind me when we started at lunch, so we'll see how he's going.
So this afternoon, are you going to try and push the pace, or just?
No, definitely not. We'll just keep it the way we're nice and tidy, get it to the end.
Right. Well, good luck with that one. Thank you.
All right, so that might be where we wrap up our proceedings for our coverage of this stage. And what an eventful stage it has been. It is getting pretty warm, as we expected. But in terms of the competitive side of things, Hayden Paddon, hot.
He's been on form as we got the wheeler car here starting to let the Mitsubishi come through. Well, they're trying to start it. We'll get out of their way to manage it. But he's been very, very good through here. That shows the form of him, and fabulous to have him as part of our championship. So I don't like the look of that, a Mitsubishi past the Subaru, but nonetheless, I think it's probably just got a little hot. It's been turned off. Hopefully a little bit of cool air through there, they'll be up and running.
So the other takeaway from this one would be Harry Bates, second fastest for this stage, shows the car is pretty well repaired. His confidence is back in the zone.
Yeah, he'd be in the zone, but like I said, now today's just about don't make a mistake, keep the car good for tomorrow. That's the storyline. Harry made a mistake. He's in salvage mode for the day. Salvage what points you can. Scott had a taste of the lead. He's now managing to try and get P3 and get some points. Lewis was there or thereabouts, but they're all tracking down Hayden Paddon.
That's it. We will be back tomorrow, 9:15 for Heat 2. And to keep up to date with how the results play out today, of course, the Australian Rally Championship socials, speedcafe.com, our official media partner. Dean, thank you.
Thank you.
It's been great fun. Day one, our EROAD Australian Rally Championship is underway here in Canberra with the Toyota Gazoo Rally of Canberra. 9:15 tomorrow. We will see you then.